Do you have an airbag light, or do you want to change your cluster to say something cool like that? Or have the Holden signal? Or get rid of the airbag light that does that every time and drives you nuts, and you just don't even want to drive your car because that's there and it does that every single time you fire it up? Let me show you how. So I don't think these are Kent Moore parts, but they are that part number. I mean, you can see it matches right on the part. These little dummy plugs. This is for the airbag, and then these two, they're the same on either side. It doesn't matter. For the, you know, seat airbag. So if you get aftermarket seats, you'll need 2 of these. And then if you have an aftermarket steering wheel, you need that for the, to not generate a airbag light. And I'll show you how to do that. Good luck. I mean, I found mine on eBay a couple years ago, and I've been hoarding them. They're not very common, and they're probably like 50 bucks each, I think I paid. So if you find them and they come up, buy them and just sit on them, because they're pretty hard to find. So the little airbag dude, this 46867, he just plugs into this yellow dude here. Just right in there. I'll see if I can do it. I can't do it one-handed. But he just goes in there, and I'm not sure about that. That might be something else. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what? I think this is for the horn, because you push on the airbag and the horn goes off, and it's red, so it must be like a hot or something. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I'm just going to leave it loose, see what happens. I mean, no airbag's going to blow up in my face, so it might be hard to kind of make sense of this. I mean, it's a weird angle. I have Brom seats. They're pretty good. They fit really well. But, you know, this connector plugs in, and then I snaked him all the way over to the seat belt. There's this little white loose connector, and then there's this dude, I'm assuming for the power seats. So these dummy plugs, they're both the same. Let's see if I can get this undone. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. So they go, I believe, I mean, they line up on here, but there's this tab on the side I'm going to have to grind off. And, like, that might be too much for some people, because, you know, you can't undo that. But we're going to see what happens. So I think if I grind that tab off, this part up here will still snap into those dummy plugs right up here. All right, so I've ground off that little tab. There's still a little bit left. Like, if I have to put that back in the factory spot, it'll be fine. But it's enough to where, oh boy, can I do this one-handed? Left-handed too. Hold on. Here we go. It just snaps in there. So, yeah, I'm just going to do the same on the other side, on the passenger side, and go from there, I guess. I'll just leave this dude disconnected for the power seats, and I don't know what that dude does, that little white dude. But, yeah, I've got these little, whatever those tensioners for the seatbelt female end. I just flipped them around and pointed them up, and, like, they fit fine. So, there you go. All right, so that's both sides done, and I've got the little dummy plug for the airbag there. So now I'll show you how to reset the light. This is the cable I made. I'll link the instructions I followed below. But basically, you get this USB side, and then it terminates to like 4 wires in there, I think, in this side. And then you buy this connector also, and you just solder it to like a certain number of pins. It's really, really easy. Like, if I can do this, you can do this. But this is what you use to interface your laptop to your car. And, like, you can do a ton of stuff with it. It's pretty cool. So I'm assuming Google is still a thing whenever you watch this. But I'm on an old-ass Lenovo IdeaPad. You just type in VZ cluster mod. And it is this 1337 or LEET vending. You're going to go here. Here we go, right in front of me. Binaries for Windows are available here, 9/5/2013. So only 10 years old right now. More info, run anyways. I did this a while ago, and I believe you have to set up like where you plug, which USB you plug this little dude into. The other side's connected to the OBD2 port. You probably, I'm cramped in here so you can't see it. But I think there is on not the airbag thing, you might have to set up, like on the cluster mod part, you might have to set up like your which USB it's using. I have 4 on this computer. So like that can be kind of tedious, but it's easy. Like don't get intimidated. It's pretty easy to figure out. So I'm gonna plug my little cord in. All right. So you turn your car on. You've changed your screen. You can figure out how to do that. It does a system check, airbag light. You push mode to clear it. It's super annoying, right? So you go here after you've unzipped everything. You find your port. I open VZ airbag. I type help, so it gives me a list of all the commands there. So it'll give you a whole list there of like all the stuff you can do. So this next part's gonna get a little convoluted. Like you'll have to mess with it in the cluster mod settings, and you'll have to figure out like your ports. I think you can do it here too. Like you'll have to hit list ports or whatever. Yeah, right there. And it'll tell you which port. I'm COM3. So we want to type open space COM3. Bam. Serial port opened successfully. This next part's going to get a little crazy because it's going to like scroll text and you're not going to really know what's going on. You just got to kind of like not mess up typing. But if you do, that's okay too. You're not going to mess anything up. So now we're going to type this command, listen. So listen, enter, and it's going to scroll like crazy. There was a command that said clear code, so we're just going to type in clear codes, all one word, no space. Hit enter. And then we're going to hit Control and C to stop listening. So we can see at the bottom here, in-car, airbag, COM3, clear codes, error, none type. So that means there's no errors. Object has no attribute, so there's nothing there, blah, blah, blah. So now you can just leave this up, it's fine. You can turn the car off. And I'll open the door. And then you turn it back on, and it should have no airbag light. System check. Okay, that's what we love to see. No airbag light. Again, if you want to change your cluster to say like some cool stuff like that when you turn it off, or to have, you can have the Buick or whatever. I chose the HSV because Holden. You can do all that in the cluster mod setting, but that's how you clear an airbag code. It's pretty simple once you like figure out, I mean, you got to make a cable, figure out what COM port you're listening to, and it's, I don't know, there's a learning curve, sure, but it's pretty easy. Don't get intimidated. Like if I can do it, you can do it. So I'm actually chasing down another issue with my car. When you pop that dude down and do that, it kills everything for some reason. You go down or you go left, it just kills like all the lights. And I'm not really sure what's going on. So hopefully I have that figured out by the time I upload this, but that's kind of why I'm in here. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. I suspect there's a short somewhere in the column here, but I've yet to find it. So maybe it's a clock spring. We'll see.